Hey guys, thanks for watching. Just wanted to add this little insert. This is an audio only video, so definitely just put this on and let it run as white noise if you want. Fresh and Fit is a podcast that deals with men, masculinity, and the differences between men and women in the relationship realm. If you want to hear our reactions, they'll come after the clip ends. Peace.
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating, in my opinion. I think a woman having an Instagram is 100% cheating, especially if she has scantily clad photos of herself on the internet and she's not making money off of it, which a lot of women tend to do. They have an Instagram just for attention, you know what I'm saying?
Stupid.
And I think for women, attention is like sex for men. So, women love that attention from the opposite gender. And if you got a serious relationship with a girl and she still has a for sale sign on her neck, I think that's very disrespectful. But that's just my opinion. A lot of people think that's toxic. I know you don't like, you disagree.
I think it's toxic, but I
saw my
understand it.
face.
She's like, oh no.
I can't hide that shit.
Okay. What's your disagreement with it?
I just think I think it's unnecessary. I think it's a part of yourself. It's like, why do you think that my profile has anything to do with like my relationship with you? That would be weird to me. I just think you have to have enough like personal like perseverance to have that. Like, this is a reflection of me. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to like look for anything.
See, you might think that way,
Yeah.
but people on us, I don't think that way.
Yeah.
Well,
So, for example,
I mean, I understand guys target you super hard on like all your social media platforms. Like I see that all the time, but it doesn't mean that you have to give that energy to people. It doesn't mean you want it. It's like, I just think that's weird.
So if a man commits to you and gives you a relationship, you're saying that you would not delete your Instagram if he told you to delete it?
No,
You wouldn't. Okay.
I think that's weird.
Then I think that's an example of you didn't really like him that much then. Because if a woman
No,
truly
I
loves
just
and
think
respects you,
it's
she will
not.
get rid of it.
Well, if he's insecure about my, I guess, reflection online, then that's too much for me.
it's not being insecure. It's more like if I'm taking care of the bills, I'm taking care of you. Like, here's one of my requests. At least don't put yourself out there to be like targeted by other guys. Because I mean, if I'm taking that responsibility, then
Why would you be concerned if the girl wholeheartedly loves you? Like, that's not a thing. She wouldn't even consider talking to anyone.
You mean like
that.
trust?
Yeah.
In other words.
So-
I think the girl should change her Instagram and just make it
Or, yeah, she
clear
could
that
make it
she's in a
private and
relationship
just
and
not
don't
talk to
post
them.
scandalous stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
agree
look,
with that.
I'm not gonna post my ass if I'm dating somebody, but like,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll just say if I'm dating you, I want to at least have like access to like see what's going on because I need
So you
to
want
know.
a password?
Oh yeah,
Hell
for
yeah!
sure.
I gotta see that shit. I gotta see it.
That's the thing too. Is
Is
like
she gonna
you
have your
shouldn't hide your phone if you
Yeah. Is she gonna
have,
have your password?
if you're in a relationship.
Nah.
Like, you don't have any reason to hide your phone or anything. You know, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is that a lot of guys won't admit this, but they would not like their girlfriend to have pictures of her body all over the internet on Instagram. And I get what you're saying. Maybe make a profile and make it private, and then have like, I guess, more modest pictures. That can possibly be a middle ground. But in general, if I was to date a girl seriously, I would tell her you're not having Instagram, especially if she's not making money off of it, because I understand how the world works with men and women. And for women, for men it's sex, women want attention. And if she's getting attention, like, that's just is disrespectful to the man,
Question.
because she's keeping her options open.
What if she does it for like family reasons, like wanting to post so her family
There's
can
phone
see?
numbers, WhatsApp, text message,
yeah, I
like, you know what I'm
guess.
saying? Like, you don't need Instagram, you know what I mean? It's just that women dislike giving away their
Access.
sexual advantage over men where they can have options. Instagram is a great way to market yourself to a large majority of men to keep options open. And there's a bunch of statistics that show that even married women, over 50% of married women, keep a guy in the background and the husband even knows about it. So I say this again, another unpopular opinion. You have to keep women. You have to protect women from themselves. And the thing is this: modern day women are taught to have habits that are not productive to a good long-term relationship. They have a lot of bad habits: girls' nights out, showing their ass on the internet, not dressing modestly, etc. I'm not saying you can't do this when you're single, but when you're with a guy, you should have that respect where, you dress a certain way, you convey yourself a certain way on the internet, you don't have scantily clad pictures. In other words, if the car is sold, you shouldn't be wearing a for sale sign on your neck. That's how I look at it. And any guy that has like a set of nuts should be able to tell his girl that. And here's the thing, I'm not saying she has to do it, but what I am saying is if you want a relationship with me, you're gonna have to make that happen, because I can go ahead and replace you with somebody else. It's just that a lot of guys don't have the balls to tell a woman that, you know, because it's politically incorrect to have boundaries on women, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just my view on it. Where were we? Oh yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Your turn.
So the girls have pretty much already said everything in the book. But I guess like a big turn on for me is a guy that can listen to me and is also very funny. It's like I love somebody that has like a good sense of humor, a dark sense of humor. I'm very goofy, I'm very weird, so I need somebody that can be, you know, like relatable. So somebody that can like definitely like relate to me and listen to me. Stuff like that. That's a turn on to me. Somebody that just listens. A big turn off. I have to completely agree with you. Somebody that's just too desperate. Somebody that's just too desperate that like once I'm talking, I'm being myself, or we're talking and you just want to get in my pants, or every other comment is like a sexual comment. That's a really big turn off.
Huge. Don't do it, fellas.
Yeah.
Do it, but do it smoothly.
And that right there is exactly why I would not want my girl having stupid pictures of herself on the internet, because I know how men think. Like, I know how women say, like, oh, well, I love you, I'm in a relationship with you. We can use the Lamborghini example. Yeah. If I have a Lamborghini, right, and it has an amazing lock system, alarm, you know, the security ring is loud as hell and no one wants to steal it, and I park it in the, why would I park it in the hood with the doors unlocked? That's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel if you're going to have a woman advertise herself on the internet, go to clubs, whatever. She's going to put herself in situations that are not conducive to a successful long-term relationship. So... And I get it. Like a lot of modern day women say, well, I should be able to do what I want, blah. The problem is this. Women want a man to be traditional while absolving themselves of traditional responsibilities as a woman. You want me to protect you, earn more than you, be confident, make money, all these other things. But if I say, hey, listen, you can't put your ass on the internet, you're toxic and insecure. And it's like they pick and choose what they want to take from traditionalism that makes, puts them in an advantage. But the man's roles are always static while hers are negotiable. And I tell guys on this podcast, like, if you're going to be a traditional man, she needs to be a traditional girl. You know, it's bullshit that you have to, you know, be traditional on your end and provide and bring home the bacon and be willing to die for this girl and protect her when she can't even say no when her girls ask her to go on a girls' night out. That's my thing.
Simply put, you want a gentleman, you got to be a lady.
Exactly.
Wait,
yes.
what?
Yeah. So ladies, you got to understand, and this is why I say all the time, men don't cheat, they just have sex. When you guys bang, someone else is cheating. For a man to get sexual access to women is very difficult, and a small percentage of men actually are out here dating women and dealing with them romantically. You said in Miami it's not like that. In Miami it's definitely like that, because in a major city like this, all the girls are gravitating towards the guys that live on Star Island, the guys that are in Brickell, the guys that have money, the guys that have some kind of clout, etc. LA, New York City, Las Vegas, Miami, major cities, or whatever it is, where there's celebrities, athletes, whatever, the women are all fighting to date and or be associated with the men. When you guys go into a nightclub, right? All you guys are pretty attractive ladies. You go into a nightclub, where are all the women concentrated?
At the table.
Tables.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is exactly how the real world works as well. The top men have all the women. And then most of the guys, the other bottom 80% are fighting for the bottom 20% of women. So when women say this notion about, oh, well, it's cheating when you have sex with other girls, or, oh, guys have options, this other stuff, that's a fallacy. You guys have all the sexual abundance. Men have to earn their sexual abundance, because women only deal with a certain demographic of man. Earlier in the top of the show, we asked you guys, what do you guys like in a man? Well, a lot of you guys mentioned things that show leadership, dominance, competence, whatever, confidence. These are all traits of a man that's been accomplished and has built himself up to something.
Yep.
Men, simply put, ladies, women are born with value, men must create their value. So this is why a small minority of men have sex with all the girls. So going to my point is that if a woman has sex with a lot of men, if a man has sex with a lot of women, he should be able to do so. A man should be able to have sex with as many women as he can afford and or has the status to get. But it doesn't work the other way around. You know, as a man has sex with more women, it's inevitable that he brings value to the market. But if a woman has sex with a lot of men, she lowers her value from a marriage standpoint.
That's true.
So that's the reality. That's why I always laugh when women say this, well, if you could bang a lot of girls, why can't I bang a lot of guys? And I'm like, whoa. Like, no, hold on. It's easy for you guys to get sex. It's very difficult for men to get sex. You guys open up your phones right now, you're going to have 99 plus DMs from dudes hitting you up trying to get laid. Me and Fresh, we ain't going to get a quarter of that. Yeah. You know, no matter how good looking we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how much clout we have, a high status man is never going to be able to compete with the sexual abundance of an average looking girl. That's the unfortunate reality of the world. And we tell guys on this podcast all the time.
Alright, Name Kicks. you heard another video. They were talking about promiscuity. Guys having a lot of girls, girls not having a lot of guys. And that in a relationship, a guy can, should, would have multiple partners. But the girl that he's with would only be loyal to him. And she would only have one sexual partner. What do you think?
I don't know. Well, I think that's a double standard because he can do whatever he wants and she knows he's doing whatever he wants, and then she just still only gives him attention and just, how do I say it? I feel like she should be able to do the same things he does too then. And he shouldn't cry about it if he's over there with like 10 other girls or whatever. But of course, he's gonna be like, he'll probably drop her.
Okay.
And be like, I'll find someone else that will do what you don't want to do or whatever. Because he probably wouldn't want, like they were saying in the video, like, oh, I don't want you to be showing your butt on Instagram and blah, blah, blah.
So that was actually what I was going to bring up next. I will give my answer, but to give context for everybody hearing this, they are talking about high-value guys that are millionaires, fit, youthful, etc., and even men that are trying to become high-value. That's who they're speaking to. So when they're saying that the men would get all these girls, they're saying that the men bring the value already of having money, being fit, being attractive, and a lot of girls want them back, and they are, they have the ability to. Obviously, they're not talking about some chump in the basement that is just eating Cheetos and playing video games. But Naomi kicks.
Mm-hmm.
So you answer the question about the man having more sexual partners than the woman. You feel that it's unfair. If the man does it and he can be, for your words, scummy about it, the woman should be able to do it, right?
Yeah, if she's okay with being with somebody like that.
All right. And so what about a guy who has lots of partners and then tells his woman not to even be on Instagram or social media showing her body, right? Let's assume she's not doing it for money, but she's just posting pictures of herself that are, a little more promiscuous.
I say he can get over it. Because he's being promiscuous himself, so why are you going to tell me not to do it?
So, interesting. Very good. So then I'll fast forward into the ending of the segment where they were talking about. So they pretty point blankly asked these women, or told these women, that women are attracted to guys that can get other women, which I think is 100% correct, right? If a woman sees a guy and she sees that other women are attracted to him, she immediately knows he has something he's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
She's not going to go for the nerd sitting on the bench, quiet, over in the corner.
Reading a book. Reading a Star Wars book.
As a matter of fact, right? A Star Wars book, a book of any sort, would freak some woman out.
Freak me out.
There you go. So they were given politically correct answers saying, oh, if he's virgin, being that, he's a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience, he's not the ladies' man, I would go for him. I go for that type, which I think a lot of women would say, right? They want the nice, quiet guy to an extent.
Because they don't want him. They don't want a guy that cheats on them, and they think, okay, then
guy
cheats won't cheat on you.
Yeah, or the diamond in the rough, right? Someone they can find the gem inside, whatever. Bring out the best in them. It's a line that I often hear.
Mm-hmm.
So he point blankly said, that's really not how women operate. And he's speaking to men, saying that women want the guy that's attractive to other women. And if that guy is attractive enough to the woman who wants him, she would be willing to share him to a degree. They're talking about high value men, these being the superstars of the world. What do you think, Naomi Kicks?
Well, I guess I agree with him because even though I don't really like him, but I agree with him because it's true that when there's one guy and a lot of girls like him, like they kind of want to be like, oh, I'm the one that got him, not you. Like they want to win or whatever. Because girls are petty. And yeah, basically girls are petty.
So I 100% agree with that part. Naomi Cakes had a problem with the guy being promiscuous in the scenario and the girl not being promiscuous. And what the podcast likes to tell guys is that it's different, inherently different for guys and girls when it comes to sexuality and what they want out of a relationship, right? A woman wants a partner. The partner needs to come with resources, needs to come with a certain type of lifestyle that she approves of, right? And needs to initially come with something that she wants. Whereas, a girl, pretty much as long as she's pretty, she doesn't have to do too much to get the guy's attention or to keep him around in the, initial interactions. Do you agree, Naomi Kicks, or no?
Unless she's dirty.
Sure.
Gross. Not gross, like physically.
Sure. Like if she's overtly showing signs of things that he doesn't want. But, I think in the beginning, it's pretty simple. The girl's pretty, she's nice,
Yeah,
guy's happy.
That's all it takes.
The girl needs the guy to at least have a job, be on her level, have some sort of education. The list goes on and
The
on.
guy just needs a woman that has a pulse.
There you go.
And they're like, that's good enough for me. All right.
And so, because of that, the work it takes to get any woman, right, they then escalate that 100 times in this podcast and are talking about high value guys, right? Let's say it takes you 10,000 hours to work up to be a normal guy, which is normal shape, not super fit, not super attractive, making $50,000 a year, right? You bring just enough value to get a normal girl. This podcast is talking to girls that are, we'll say, abnormal, and that they're either super attractive or they make a lot of money, either through their attractiveness or through other means. But let's say a lot of times it's through their physicality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's times 100. Those are those girls. And they may have skirted through life, on their looks. We don't know. But it can be assumed that their looks open doors that guys could not get through with their looks alone.
Yeah.
So because of that,
still a bum. They don't want to talk to you.
yeah. And because of that, to multiply by 100, the work it takes, the 10,000 hours to get to a $50,000 salary and, normal attractiveness, times that by 100 to get to $1 million salary and be very attractive to these women that may have had doors open to them just for being super attractive.
Yeah, because a guy, if he has a lot of money and he's the ugliest dude ever, like the fattest dude ever, a girl would still want him.
Yeah, he can still pull girls. And so in that scenario where the guy has to work an excess amount to even be on the radar of some of these women that just walked through the door because they were pretty, they teach men, because of this, the guy should be able to live his best life. The woman has no way of saying no to that because she didn't work to get here. She was pretty enough to get here. The guy had to work 10,000 times 100 hours just to get on her level, so to speak.
Yeah, I still don't care for
that. And then, they go into it more on different podcasts, but I'll give a snippet here, and that they preach that men and women experience, we'll say, sexuality maybe a little differently, or the nuances of sex a little bit differently. Women, sex is more emotional, right? There has to be an attachment. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm just laughing because we're talking about this. I agree.
What's funny?
We don't talk about this.
I just wanted to get your opinion.
No, I agree though.
Guys, Naomi, I mean, we all know the the statements. As long as it has a pulse, a guy will F it.
Yeah, literally.
Right? So a guy can really have sex without emotion attached, right? There can be emotion, but a lot of times a guy can have sex without emotion. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
All right. So if a guy can have sex without any emotion, right? How is it he shows someone without sex that he cares about them?
I guess just with attention. I guess in this sense that they're talking about probably buying things. Buying things.
There you go. Resources. So with a guy that can literally F everything and not really care, the way he shows his attention to a woman is through resources. Whereas the way that a woman would show her true intentions to a man would be through sex, because emotion is attached to it. A guy doesn't care about her resources normally, as long as she's pretty and she's nice and she gives him that attention that is, sacred to her, sacred to that woman. That's all he really wants. That's all he really needs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just trying to explain it in a way where you get past kind of the brute force talks that the show uses.
I don't get past those talks yet.
Yeah, and the only reason why I think it's important to highlight is because I do think you should know what you're looking for, or at least people out there should understand what they're hearing and then understand what they're going for. By all means, if you want to go after a guy that's super high value, understand what it is he may be looking for and why it is he may be looking for that. Right? In the same token, a guy that's looking at these Instagram type of girls, right, he should know what he's looking for as well. A married man should look at this, and me personally, I look at these type of talks where they're talking about, what does a high value man want and this and that, and what a girl wants, especially when a girl wants a guy or wants a guy that all other women want, is that my job is to protect my relationship. And I've told Naomi this many times. And the best way for me to protect my relationship is to be the best guy I could possibly be and make it so that I'm the one she wants to be with at all times.
And stay away from, what do you say? From temptation at all costs? Like literally avoid it?
Yeah, avoid temptation, of course, always.
Well, yeah, always, but you said it some other way.
Well, yeah, but the layman's term is being that the message can be interpreted for different circumstances. And even though it comes across as a little bit more misogynistic or a little bit more macho man and just kind of rough towards women, the message is that guys need to bring value so that they can maintain certain relationships, right? They often like to say that no amount of love or no amount of affection is completely absent of expectation, right? Your mother will give you love without expectation. Your wife has an expectation.
Yeah.
And so when they ask these women, do you want a guy that's no one wants? And the woman say yes, that may be disingenuous to a degree, where a guy may...
I'm not going to want him.
Exactly. Where a guy may be asking himself, why is it that someone left me or so-and-so doesn't want me when I'm just a nice guy that nobody wants?
Nobody wants you.
Nobody wants you. I think it's an interesting topic. We'll definitely try to explore it, maybe in a little shorter format next time. I appreciate y'all for watching. Sorry for the pause. Give it a like and subscribe. Get notified. Me and Naomi Cakes will be talking about more stuff like this in the future. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if it needs to be shorter. I definitely feel it. Y'all have a good one. Peace.